Ever wondered what the ancient Maya believed happened after death? It wasn't heaven or hell as we might think. For them, the journey led to Xibalba, the treacherous Mayan Underworld, a name that literally means place of fear. Xibalba was a terrifying realm ruled by a council of death gods, the lords of Xibalba. The most prominent were Hunkame, meaning one death, and Vukubkame, or seven death. These weren't just spooky figures. They were masters of disease, suffering, and decay, each presiding over a different form of human misery. Imagine gods whose job was to inflict pain, like a Halpu, the pus demon, or Kuchumakik, the blood gatherer. Not exactly a welcoming committee. The journey to Xibalba was an ordeal in itself. Souls had to navigate a perilous landscape, crossing rivers of scorpions, blood, and pus. Then, they faced a series of deadly houses, each with a unique trial. There was the House of Gloom, plunged in total darkness. The House of Knives, filled with sharp blades that moved on their own. And the House of Jaguars, where hungry beasts roamed. Surviving these trials was nearly impossible. But the most famous story of Xibalba is about two mortals who outsmarted the death gods. The hero twins, Hunahpu and Xibalba. Their father and uncle had been tricked and defeated by the lords of Xibalba in a ritual bull game. Years later, the twins were summoned to face the same fate. But these were no ordinary boys. They were clever, brave, and possessed supernatural abilities. They skillfully navigated the deadly houses, using their wits to survive each night. For instance, in the House of Bats, they hid inside their blowguns to avoid the deadly bat god. The climax was the final bow game against the lords of Xibalba. The twins, through a series of brilliant tricks and displays of power, ultimately defeated the gods of death. In a final, masterful move, they even sacrificed and resurrected themselves, a trick the death gods foolishly tried to replicate, leading to their own permanent demise. The twins didn't destroy Xibalba, but they stripped its lords of their power over humans. After their victory, Hunahpu and Xibalba ascended to the heavens, transforming into the sun and the moon. Their epic journey through the place of fear became a central myth for the Maya, a story of hope, cleverness, and the triumph of life over death. So, the next time you look up at the sun and moon, remember the hero twins and their incredible adventure into the Mayan underworld. It's a powerful reminder of one of the world's most fascinating creation stories. The story begins with two brothers, Hunahpu and Xibalba, known as the hero twins. Their father had once been summoned to play a deadly ball game in Xibalba. The lords of death were disturbed by the noise of the ball game above ground, so they invited him below. It was not an invitation, it was a trap. When he entered Xibalba, he was humiliated, tested, and ultimately sacrificed. His head was placed on a tree, where it became a strange fruit from that tree. Through supernatural events, the hero twins were born. Years later, the twins grew powerful, skilled in the sacred ball game, clever, fearless. And when the lords of Xibalba heard the noise once again, they summoned the twins. The same trap, the same invitation, but this time, the outcome would be different. To reach Xibalba, the twins had to descend dangerous rivers. One river of scorpions, one river of blood, one river of pus. Symbolic, perhaps, but in Maya imagination, these were real trials. Then came the crossroads. 4 roads appeared before them, one red, one white, one yellow, one black. The black road led to Xibalba, but the lords of death were masters of deception. They placed fake gods made of wood to trick the twins. The first time their father visited A was full, but the twins were clever. They sent a mosquito ahead to bite the lords. When each god reacted in pain, the mosquito learned their names. The deception failed. The game had begun. Xibalba was not just a throne room of death. It contained houses. Each house was a test. Each house was designed to break the spirit. First came the dark house, a chamber of absolute blackness. The twins were given torches and cigars and told to keep them lit all night. but they could not burn them. If they did, they would fail. So they tricked the lords by placing fireflies on the tips of the cigars. The illusion of light. They passed. Then came the razor house, filled with blades that moved and sliced through the air. The twins spoke to the blades, convinced them not to cut. They passed again. Next was a jaguar house. Hungry jaguars filled the room. Instead of fighting, the twins fed them bones. The jaguars were distracted. Another test passed. The bat house was the most dangerous. Here lived Kamazotes, the death bat. During the night, Hunapu's head was severed. A catastrophic moment, but Xiblanc did not give up. He placed a squash on his brother's body as a temporary head. The next day, during the sacred ball game, they retrieved the real head and restored him. Death had been reversed. For the Maya, this was not just myth. It was a message. Death is not the end. It is transformation. The final challenge was the ball game itself, but this was no ordinary sport. The Maya ball game symbolized cosmic struggle. Light versus darkness. Life versus death. The lords believed they controlled the underworld, but the twins outsmarted them. Through illusion, through intelligence, through sacrifice. At one point, the twins allowed themselves to be killed, their bodies burned, their bones crushed, thrown into the river. But days later, they reappeared, alive, disguised as traveling performers. They performed miracles, burning themselves and returning to life. The lords of death, arrogant and curious, asked to witness the trick. The twins sacrificed them, but did not resurrect them. The rulers of Xibalba were defeated. Balance was restored. The twins rose into the sky. One became the sun, the other the moon. Symbolism, yes, but also something deeper. The Maya believed the journey through Xibalba was necessary for cosmic order. Without death, there is no rebirth. Without darkness, no light. Was Xibalba just a myth? Here is where the mystery deepens. Across the Maya region, archaeologists have discovered extensive cave systems, some containing ancient carvings, ritual offerings, human remains. In Belize, a cave known as Actantanechilmuknel contains skeletal remains deep inside underground chambers, artifacts placed deliberately in total darkness. These were not random deposits. They were ceremonies. The Maya physically entered caves to perform rituals linked to the underworld. Caves were not metaphors. They were sacred gateways. Even the structure of Maya pyramids reflects this belief. Temples built above ground symbolized mountains. Caves below symbolized the underworld. A vertical, cosmic axis. Heaven above, earth in the middle. Xibalba below. Some researchers believe Xibalba may have been inspired by real subterranean environments. Dark rivers, underground. Strange rock formations. Echoing chambers. Imagine entering a deep cave with only a torch. Sounds distort. Shapes shift. Your sense of direction disappears. It feels otherworldly. For an ancient civilization, that experience could easily become a sacred narrative. But here is the most powerful truth. Xibalba was not simply a place of punishment. It was a place of testing. Transformation. Growth. The hero twins did not destroy death. They mastered it. And perhaps that is the message the Maya left behind. We fear the underworld. We fear darkness. But the journey through fear is what creates light. The jungles of Central America still hide caves, still hide ruins, still hide stories. And somewhere beneath the earth, in myth or memory, Xibalba waits, not as a place of terror, but as a reminder that every civilization, every human, must face the darkness before rising into the light.